Well, hello, and welcome to the second meeting of the Tortured Poets Department, the reading of the anthology, if you will. So if you have not seen the first part of this, we reacted to the first 16 tracks that we thought were going to be on the standard edition of the Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift, but Miss Girly had more she was sitting on that she decided to put out on the table for us so graciously. And so we are going to finish this feast with the rest of the album that I have just started to refer to as the anthology. If you would like to, feel free to check out part 1 of my reactions. I will link it below, but without further ado, let's just get into it. I can't believe we have more songs, you guys. We have a whole nother album. I can't. Okay, let's do it. The Black Dog is another one of those songs that like I had empty, I had nothing. And like, I know like if you've seen Harry Potter, the Grim is the omen of death. I don't know, I feel like the albatross is like something that's like following you around and hanging around your neck. And so I don't know, there's a lot of like fatalistic stuff and like meant to be's and stuff in this album. So it's about that and like seeing the black dog. She is a millennial. Piano. Very happy to see piano.
I am someone who until recent events you shared your secrets with, and your location you forgot to turn it off. And so I watched as you walk into some bar called the Black Dog and pierced new holes in my heart. You forgot to turn it off. And it hits me. I just don't understand how you don't miss me in the Black Dog when someone plays the starting line.
The starting line! Fresh out the slammer, we're at the starting line. We're talking about Maddie. I'm so sorry. I know it doesn't matter exactly who we're talking about, because I also get that like there are things that like feelings could apply to the fizzling out and the pain of the end of Jover and the whole long drawn out like friendship and then emotional like will they won't they, and then jumping into Fresh Out the Slammer and then it crashing and burning and ending with The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Like I get that there could be like mirroring feelings there and that they could almost be like connected in some way, but the starting line is like an old not old, like 90s I think, like early 2000s 90s like emo alt band, and she said they were at the starting line and Fresh Out the Slammer. Sorry, we're keeping going. Okay, so someone plays the starting line.
She's too young to know this song. It was intertwined in the magic fabric of her treatment. Old habits die sweet.
I love how she said that line. Every time there's another one of the lines from like the album variants, I'm like, oh, like it's like I got a coin, one of like the big star coins in Mario. I'm like, oh, we collected another one. There it is. I love that. It kills me. There are songs, I don't know, I feel like everyone has songs that like, at least for me, I can't listen to them anymore. It pokes at a wound that even though it's healed, I don't like having it poked at. And so like hearing certain songs that were like so prominent in certain relationships, and so like, oh God, to have broken up and they're still sharing their location because they forgot to turn it off, and then you're watching them walk into a bar. I don't know why I'm assuming the Black Dog is in London. I feel like I've consumed so much Taylor Swift content. I feel like I'm having deja vu of seeing someone say that there is a bar in London called the Black Dog, but I don't know if that's something I actually heard or if I'm imagining it now that we know that's what it is. But like the song and then the thing about the song and then but she's too young to know this song. We had this connection, this sameness. You know when you have something that you loved from like years ago and you bring it up to someone and they're like, yes. and they know exactly what you're talking about, and you can tell that they like have that same love for it. That's so intimate and like such a foundation for like a magic connection with someone. And then she's like, but the bitch you're with now is too young to know this song. She has no idea what you're even talking about. But I did, and it was important to us, and I don't get how you're here now. And you don't miss me, and you need to remember to turn off your fucking location sharing. Oh God. Ooh, we're picking it up a little bit. I know. But you can do it with a broken heart. Mm-hmm. Oh. We all think that though, when we get broken up with. She talks about like, every time I feel like she's talking about Maddie, and again, like I said, there's overlap, and like her songs are very much like an emotional kaleidoscope collage sketch sometimes, and like birthed from like a thought or a feeling and then grown out of that, absolutely. But whenever she seems to be talking about Maddie, it seems like the framework I'm getting is like someone that like you've kind of been looking at across the room from your separate relationships, and like you're super close and you have this connection. The guilty as sin happens, and you are like having these text conversations, and he's like getting you through the night with like bringing you joy through talking to him and like sending you songs, and you're like ready at the starting line, fresh out the slammer, ready to jump into this new relationship. And he's saying, what you didn't have, I can be that for you. You need someone that's strong, that's not going to bore you to death, that's going to understand you, that's going to be there fully for you, and I can be that. And then she was like, okay, here. And then she like actually like put some of her weight on him and like tried to lean on him a little bit, and he was like, oh, I didn't know, I can't, oh fuck, I'm not shit, like, and he just completely crumbled. And then she was like, you were my best friend, and this made total sense, and we had been just like cosmically circling each other and like ready to go, and like this was supposed to work out, this was supposed to be the thing. And if it doesn't work with you, the person that I was so sure that it could and that I've known for all of these years, how could it possibly work with someone else? And I get how he could be taking her ring and putting it on her ring finger, because the relationship might have been only a fortnight, like officially, but like their relationship, just like between the two of them, had been years. They'd known each other for years. They'd been getting to know each other and sending texts and like doing this and orbiting each other for years. And so it didn't feel like a new relationship, which also makes me think that love of my life, I don't know, love of my life is one that feels like very specific to someone that did text her LOML. And like I could see titling a song like that when someone texts you that, and that's like what they call you, and that makes you think of them, and you're like, yeah, you are the LOML. Fuck. Okay, we need to keep listening to this song. We're 1 minute and 40 seconds in, and we're already just like losing our minds. Okay.
And it kills me.
Me too.
I just don't understand.
Oh God.
How you don't miss me in the shower, and remember how my rain-soaked body was shaking. Do you hate me? Was it hazing for a cruel fraternity I pledged, and I still need it?
Oh, the lyrics, they're so good. Yes! Oh God, it's giving the bridge of Queen, but like somehow better.
And I hope it's just too young to know this song. The best answer to what it shot if I recall my dream. Stay between your legs, your
Oh, like a little cowardly black dog.
can't believe. Oh. Old habits die, scream.
The way she said that last line with like a gasp. Wow. So the black dog, the way she says, I just don't understand. Like, I just feel like I'm getting such a clear picture. And obviously we will never know. It is not our business. This is art. This is art that she's creating and sharing. It is not like her life is not a story that we own or have rights over. I want to be really, really clear about that because I feel like it can get taken in that direction very quickly. But I feel like she's painting such a clear picture of this relationship with Maddie, of having just so full of hope and having someone say, yes, I've seen you for years and I have seen your suffering. I have seen your pain. I see what you need and I am here to give it to you because I get you and you've seen that I get you and we can do this. And just feeling like your heart's exploding and feeling like you've finally gotten it right. And then, like I said before, like in the poem that she posted, like trying to swing a sword that he could barely hold, just being weak and someone who runs away with their tail between their legs. I love that. And the song's called The Black Dog. So good. That just, and to be honest, like that makes sense. Like I'm not like a stan of the 1975, but I'm definitely a fan. I've been listening since their first album. And to be honest, like the way she's portraying Matty Healy in this album does not sound like the impression I had of him. Just kind of like a little shady, a little sleazy, a little fucked up, a little bit just like in a cloud of smoke. That's the next thing. 6 weeks of breathing clean air. I'm looking at the lyrics now. I still miss the smoke. The way, so many smoke references with Maddie. Oh my God, that stoner cigarette head, boy. I love this. Oh God, when she goes, and I hope it's shitty in The Black Dog when someone plays this song and you jump up, but she's too young to know the song and you're just sitting there. Oh God, it's so good. And then Even If I Die Screaming, and I hope you hear it. Oh, that song like evolves so much too. Like it starts so small and then it ends like so much more expansive. I'm gonna get you back. It's giving Get Him Back by Olivia Rodrigo with like the all lowercase. I don't know, it's very Gen Z. We're back to the synth.
Light like a short skirt, the one that fits me like skin. Did your research, you knew the price going in.
This is gonna be sexy, huh?
One thing, honey, I can tell when somebody still wants me. Come clean, standing at the bar, something's funny, bubbly. Once you fix your face, I'm going in.
Once you fix your face, I'm going in.
Whether I'm gonna be your wife or gonna smash up your bike, I haven't decided yet. But I'm gonna get you back. Whether I'm gonna curse you out or take you back to my house, I haven't decided yet. But I'm gonna get you back.
Vibe. This is another like vibey beady one, like Down Bad. I like this. It's so her and Maddie dated like briefly, like a long time ago. And it feels like maybe that they kind of had like a period of not being as close, and I think this is her deciding that like that one. The beginning of her deciding that when she was fresh out the slammer, this is who she wanted her first call to be to. And this was like the very beginning. I like it. I like it. I want more. I love how she's already like a little bit condescending to him. Like, once you fix your face, once you scrape your shit together, I'm gonna go in. She's already forever a mastermind. Never Not Mine. Like in their last relationship? What did he do to offend you? What did he do? I need to know. I like was so, that was not something that I looked into, because there were so many, when you look up like who is Taylor Swift dated, there are so many people that like she was seen hanging out with once. Like she and Zac Efron never dated, but so many websites will tell you that they did. And so her and Maddie were not one that I looked into very much or for very long. So I think I'm gonna have to go back into the Maddie lore, the pre-Jover Maddie lore. Or is this a moment of her after things like didn't work out, of her being like, no, I'm gonna make this happen. This is gonna be fine. I'm gonna get this back. And whether our things are gonna last forever or it's going to be an absolute crashed motorcycle fire, I don't know. But we're gonna get there. My crazy, wonderful Taylor. As a fellow crazy Taylor, I love you so much.
I'm gonna be your wife, or gonna smash up your bike. I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna get you back. Whether I'm gonna flip you off or
Lol.
leave into the closet. Haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna get you
These lyrics.
back. I'll make you wanna think twice.
Ooh. Say you got somebody else. Say I got someone too. Yes. Okay. Yeah, no, we are sad. We are in London. He's got somebody else. She's got someone too. But what? Bygones will be bygones. Era's fading into gray. That is giving, there are many songs at the Eras tour that are never going to be played live again. Which makes me very sad, but I have thought about it. I like the contrast between this like whispery, floaty, and the kind of like fast chanty singing.
I'm gonna get you back.
I love that one. I'm gonna re-listen to that one. We've only done 2, and I'm definitely gonna like replay both of them. Number 3, The Albatross. This one, the amount of looking into albatrosses that I did when this came out, it's very interesting and kind of depressing and upsetting. They're this like gigantic bird, and like, all that to say, big birds kind of like, animals don't like, I don't have a fear of many animals, but the only time I've ever been kind of like uncomfortable or upset in a zoo was very large birds. That has nothing to do with this song though.
Wise men once said,
folk tale.
wild winds are death to the candle rose by any other name is a scandal. Cautions issued, he stood shooting the messengers they tried.
She's the albatross. She is here to destroy you. Emotional. Is she intending to destroy you? Is she angry and intending to destroy you? Or is she like crashing into your life and she's just emotionally going to fuck up your heart? Wild winds are death to the candle. A rose by any other name is a scandal. Something beautiful and beloved and grown is by any other name a scandal. Cautions issued, he stood, shooting the messengers who were issuing those cautions, and they tried to warn him, but you crossed your thoughtless heart, and only liquor could anoint you. She's the albatross, she's here to destroy you. This is kind of insulting for someone who doesn't intentionally want to destroy him. I love this already. Let's do more. Don't date Taylor Swift. She goes through boyfriends. Don't date her, Maddie. I know she's one of your best friends, and I locked me up in towers. Her London house, it's like her tower, her hospital, her jail. Like, devils that you know are raise worse hell than a stranger. That's so true. Dating your friend and having it end badly hurts worse than someone who was originally a stranger. When people are on social media tearing your ass to shreds, I'll tell you, welcome. None of this matters. And I've learned that, and I've gotten here. Would you like to go through it and get there too? Or are you the smallest man who ever fucking lived and you're gonna run away with your tail between your legs?
Once read, and I tried to warn you about them.
Them, us.
Cross my thoughtless heart.
We're the worst.
It's like a parachute. I'm the albatross. I swept in at the rescue. The devil that you know looks now more like an angel. I'm the life you chose, and all this terrible danger.
This is like when we were like all shitting on him and she was like defending him, and like it turns out that like she's not going to destroy him, she's actually like defending him, you know, before it all went wrong and stuff. I'm gonna need to go over that one again. I tried to warn you about them. Oh god. How many times has Taylor Swift had to say that about her fans? I tried to warn you about them. They're a lot. And I love them and they're great because they're my fans, but Jesus Christ, I would rather burn my whole life down than listen to one more second of all this bitching and moaning, you children. Like, Okay, so this next one. So it's Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. And the second I saw this, I was like, so you're choosing baby names. That's all I have. Like, that is all my brain will give me. Watch me be entirely, completely wrong, and I hope so. Because we've just never really heard Taylor Swift's thought on kids before, and this is just a long conversation to have, so let's just listen to the song.
You said some things that I can't unabsorb. You turned me into an idea of sorts. You needed me, but you needed drugs more, and I couldn't watch it happen. I changed into goddesses, villains and fools, changed plans and lovers and outfits and rules, all to outrun my desertion of you, and you just watched it. If you wanna break.
Yikes! So that's who Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus is the people that Maddie is stumbling around with. As the decade would play us for fools and you saw my bones out with somebody new who seemed like he would have bullied you in school. Yeah, that does check out, actually. I could definitely see Joe being like the cool kid at school. That's perfect to me. This is so much.
To know what to do. So if I sell my apartment and you have some kids with an internet starlet, will that make your memory fade from this scarlet maroon?
Will that make your memory fade from this scarlet maroon? She told us. She told us that Maroon was about Maddie. I also think she told us that The One was about Maddie when she said, he's the one, big pause, I love / I want in, but Daddy, I love him. I need to do a whole just reanalysis of everything, with this Maddie fork thrown into the road, but oh God, will that make your memory fade from this scarlet maroon? I feel like I could like do an essay analyzing. This is just such a long, beautiful poem. I feel like I need to listen to it again, like, and we're not even done. Dear. I mean, we could spend like a half an hour here. So they fucked things up with each other and they separated for a decade. You said some things I can't unabsorb and you turned me into an idea. You needed me, but you needed drugs more, and I couldn't watch it happen. and I changed into goddesses, villains, fools. And she ran around and did all of this stuff. She changed plans, lovers, and rules to try and outrun the idea that she wasn't talking to him anymore. And he just watched it from afar. I don't know, I'm having trouble. There's a lot, and every time I like go to like say something, I see another like lyric, and I'm like, but that, like, this is a dense, I did not think this was gonna be this. I think this one's gonna be really sad because it's how did it end, ? And I feel like this is either her answering the question, how did it end? Or worse, she's asking. And I have had relationships that I could still ask that question about, and they're some of the most fucked up ones. I'm so sorry, it's so loud where I live. But Taylor will, power over. Oh, more piano, yay. It's gonna be sad. This is gonna be sad.
Was a hothouse flower to my outdoorsman. Our melodies were such big hunger descends. We'll tell no one except all of our friends. We must know.
This is, I mean, this is about us. This is about, I mean, kind of what I'm doing right now. Like, feeling just vulturized and having your pain and your relationships picked apart and going through something terrible and having your heart shattered, and all anyone wants to do is like hear the tea, and all they want is more information on your pain and more information on the intimate details of the ending of your relationship, like the worst part. And that's all they can ask, and it won't stop. And it's interesting to like think about how do we interact with Taylor Swift and her art and her music without doing this, you know? How do we interact with her and her writing and her sharing her experiences and thoughts and feelings in her songs without crossing a line into harmful speculation or asking for more from a person and asking for more, I don't know, like, than we are owed as simply fans. I mean, we're not owed anything. She's making art and we enjoy it, and that's kind of that on that. How must it feel to have gone through a breakup and have that be all anyone wants to talk about? This is such gorgeous music.
Now the death rattle breathing silenced as the soul was leaving. The deflation of our dreaming, leaving me bereft and reeling. My beloved ghost and me, sitting in a tree. DYING. It's happening again.
The empathetic hunger descends, like, and it's like you're a fan of this person, you like this person, you want to know, you want to like be there for them, you want to relate and show them that like there are people that love them and they're there for them and that like have been through the same thing, but like you're kind of like hungering for more information, you're like hungering for something to comfort. Just feels good to be special enough to be there for someone. My beloved ghost and me, sitting in a tree, DYING. Oh God, I love those. That is what iconic emo lyrics, but also beautiful. I feel like I get this song and I don't know how to describe it other than using the words in the song because they're so perfect. I also think about like Give Me More and Piece of Me by Britney Spears, and just feeling like people love you, but like all they want in order to love you is to keep taking more from you. Oh God. That, and like people keep asking for like these specific details, but she's like, I don't even have specific details. These are things that I've come up with in order to work through my pain, and the lack of specific details. Like, this is a mess. This is hard. And so the fact that you want like a very clean plot line is hilarious because like, is that life for anybody? No. So high school. I feel like this one's gonna be happy and cute. I feel like this has to be about something like a relationship or like some connection being like so high school. And I feel like that's like bouncy and like all in your head and giddy and happy. So, well, ooh. Yes, electric guitar. This sounds like Travis. This is sounding very football Meat Boy-ish. I love all of these like little high school references. I love, one of my favorite things about Taylor, like she chooses specific words that have the same undertone. So like these all have very like teenage years undertones, like get the door to the car, that's so sweet, and then we kiss and you pull me into the back seat, no one's ever had me, like in the back seat of a car, and then she goes, not like you do. It's so cute. The thing that made me be like, this is definitely about Travis is you knew what you wanted and boy, you got her. Because yeah, he was like, I would like to tell Taylor what's up, and like publicly. And so she responded. And I, this is so cute. In the middle of practice! Oh, well, there you go. I'm so happy she's happy. Friends are around, so be quiet. Very high school. That was cute. I enjoyed that. Our first Tavis track. Well, I guess the Alchemy was a Tavis track. I love that like little look into the vibe of their relationship. That is so cute. And it's weird. I was like, I'm so happy she's happy. But then I was like, wait, like I feel like we've been reminded over and over this album, like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know her. But at some point, she was really happy. There's so much like high school partying language, truth and dare and spin the bottle and kiss, marry, kill, and I'll drink what you think and I'm high from smoking your jokes all night. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the first half of the album was very, it just felt a little bit unfamiliar. This one's a little bit more familiar. I don't know. This one's just a little bit more familiar Taylor. I don't know how else to describe it or what else to say. Because again, we're still processing, but I hate it here. I think this is about London. Before she left, she hated it, clearly. She said it enough times. I'm fairly certain that's what this is about. But also, like, you know, when things are going terribly and like someone does something and you're just like, I hate it here. Like, you're kind of like, I hate people. Like, I hate it here, and by here I mean Earth. So, you know, it could be that too.
Quick, tell me something awful, like you are a poet, trapped inside the body of a finance guy. Tell me all your secrets, all you'll ever be is my eternal consolation. But when I was a precocious child, no mid-sized city hope.
Sometimes growing up precocious means not growing up at all. So she's saying she never really grew up. But anyway, but daddy, I love him. But no mid-sized city hopes and small town fears. like her being stuck in her tower, and so she wrote about the gardens she went to in her mind, because that's dark. That puts a very dark pretext to those two. And then like writing them with someone that she was like, quick, please tell me something absolutely awful and stunning, like you're a poet that's just trapped inside the body of this boring ass person. What happened to all these nights up on the roof with a schoolgirl crush? God damn.
My friends used to play a game where we would pick a decade we wish we could live in instead of this. I'd say the 1830s, but without all the
That's so
races
specific.
and getting married off for the highest bid.
Fair.
Everyone would look down, 'cause it wasn't fun now. Seems like it was never even fun back then. Nostalgia is a mind's trick. If I'd been there, I'd hate it. It was freezing in the palace.
This is a long
I hate
thought.
it here, so I will go to lunar valleys in my mind. When they found a better planet, only the gentle survived. I dreamed about it in the dark. The night I felt like I might die. No mid-sized city hopes and small town fears. I'm there most of the year 'cause I hate it here. I hate it here.
It wasn't fun now because you ruined it. Everyone looked down because it wasn't fun now because you ruined it by bringing up the fact that there were racists and people getting married for the highest bid. And nostalgia is a mind trick. If she had been where she's looking back on with romanticism, she would hate it. And so she's like kind of saying that this like whole thing was never really like real or great in the first place. So she was romanticizing moving to the UK and like her London boy, and now that she's there, she hates it and it's cold in her palace and she wants to come back to the US. Like what?
Electricity, the current flies through me, and in my fantasies I rise above it. And way up there, I actually love it. I hate it here, so I will go to.
Baby, when I'm above the trees, I see this for what it is. God, she wrote Happiness a long time ago. It's hard to believe that she didn't write it about Joe there, miserable. How long do you sit in something miserable? Apparently a really long time, which is why in so many of these like Joe songs, like So Long London, how much sad did you think I could take? Or how much sad did you think I had in me? And then You're Losing Me. I don't know, it feels like she's talking about making up the stories of Folklore and Evermore, and also texting Mappy and retreating into her creativity and her mind and other things because she hated where she was. Thank you, Amy, with the letters K, I, and M only capitalized. It's giving If You Seek Amy by Britney Spears. Why are songs that are supposedly about someone named Amy never about Amy at all? I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think this is about someone named Amy. I think this is about someone named Kim. Oh, this is gonna be petty. This is gonna be petty. It's gonna be petty and silly. I'm in a petty, silly mood.
When I picture my hometown, there's a bronze spray tan statue of you.
Is the bird shitting on
And
it?
a plaque underneath it that threatens to push me down the stairs at our school. And it was always the same searing pain.
It's like I went through all of that and that made me who I am today. So you know what? Thank you for that. Thank you for being the shitty ass person you are. Kimberly.
The way you make me feel. Everyone knows that my mother is a saintly woman, but she used to say she wished that she were dead. Push each boulder up and count the scars. There's a moment of truth that there wouldn't be this if there hadn't been you.
Ha. We wouldn't have Reputation if it hadn't been for Amy and her husband Kanye.
I don't think you've changed much, and so I changed
No,
your
not at all.
name and any real defining clues. And one day, your kid comes home singing a song that only us two is gonna know is about you. 'Cause all that time you were throwing punches, it was
The glitter. I love that she's like, yeah, no, my mom, she would say she wished you were dead. She would do it regularly. Like,
ringing in my head. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy.
I thought she was gonna say fuck you, Amy, at the end. I won't lie to you. I want to know what exactly Kim said to her. Was it the snake thing and like the phone call recording and like all of that, or like was there something she said to her personally that like while she was like pushing each boulder up the hill, going through all of this, that was what she was thinking about? And she was like, no, I'm gonna fucking be building something and it is going to tower over your itty bitty disgusting little head. Like, what? I love. And so I've changed your name and any real defining clues, so it's not clear that it's about you, but I'm gonna make sure it's very clear it's about you. And you're gonna know it's about you, but your kid won't. And it's gonna sound crazy if you try and bring it up, because there are absolutely no defining clues. And also, you can't sue me for this. I look in people's windows. I don't even know what that is, but I'm so interested. Ooh. I like this, kind of like messy guitar sound.
I had died the tiniest death. I spied the catch in your breath. Out, 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 out. Northbound, I got carried away as you boarded your. I'm afflicted by the not knowing, so I look in people's windows, transfixed by rose golden town. Does it feel alright to not know me? I'm addicted to the F. Only
Oh.
I look in people's windows like I'm some deranged weirdo.
That makes me think of, you know, when you're like, I don't know, probably like a month out of a breakup, you're starting to heal, but you just kind of keep looking for them in every crowd and kind of sort of hoping you see them, knowing that that would be a disaster, but like hoping against all hope that you do run into them out and about somewhere. And so she's talking about like walking around, looking in people's windows, hoping to see him living his normal life without her and to catch his eye. Oh, I wish it was longer. That was so short. Like, that was so short. I really liked the vibe though. The prophecy. This is giving mastermind vibes. This is giving like there's a prophecy, tale as old as time, and I'm going to tell you about it. And I feel like it's either going to be a prophecy about like, it was foretold that like these two people would come together, or it was foretold that this was going to break apart. More counting in with the strings. I do like it. We've changed vibes entirely from the first half, like entirely.
Hand on the throttle, thought I caught lightning in a bottle. Oh.
prophecy is her being alone forever and like all of her loves like crashing and burning. This is really pretty. But aw.
Oh, it was sinking in, sinking in. Oh, slow is the quicksand poison.
It's interesting that she says don't want money, because I feel like it's been very like thrown in our face lately that like that is what she has, even though she's not like super showy about it, because if she were flashing her dollars, she'd be a bitch, not a baller. But like she does talk about like, she references, and like when she was with Joe, she kept talking about like wanting to lock it down and like wanting to get married a lot. And I don't know if I ever saw Taylor Swift as a marriage person, but the thing is that Taylor Swift is a love person, and she so badly wants like a forever love, like something that will last, like something that is not going to crash and burn, something that will not fall apart. She wants to see and have that exist. And the form that we've made that is marriage. Like that is the human construction that is the closest to that. And so I feel like that's what she is fixated on wanting, is having someone who wants to give her that permanence, that commitment. And I feel like she feels like she's like fated to have everything but that, in this like Greek tragic way. Like the woman who writes all the best love songs died alone. Like that's devastating. And like that's...
And I look unstable, gathered with a coven round a sorceress table.
Willow?
The greater woman has faith, but even statues crumble if they're made to wait.
Oh, you did have faith though. You had faith through so many men and for 6 years.
No sign of soulmates. I'm just a paperweight.
No! You didn't seal your fate.
Spending my last coin so someone will tell me it'll be okay.
It will be okay. You will be okay. You are better than all of these men. She says she doesn't want money, but what she does want is to create. Like she said recently that like, I'm someone who feels my best when I am actively working and actively creating all the time. And if that's what she wants to do, and she wants to have her work and her career be a focus of her life, then she needs someone who is going to fit into that. And when she's writing about her life and her relationships, you need someone who understands that and is comfortable and supports it and like fits, doesn't fight against it and pull it in different directions that aren't her and that she's not comfortable sitting in, like Joe did. And I can see how it felt like Maddie was that fit, and how now she's like, well, if that doesn't work, then who? But this hurt, but it was also really, really good and is giving Folkmore vibes. And I feel like we've all felt this way, but I feel like Taylor Swift especially is the like, come one, come all, it's happening again. Taylor Swift's going through a breakup. It's like it happens once every 2 years. It's like an annual event. And like, yeah, that's fun unless you're that person. Like it's fun to have something to talk and gossip about and have tea to discuss, unless you're the person that people are constantly whispering about and being like, so how did it end between them? Like what happened? And like wanting to hear the story of your pain constantly, when you're just like, I don't even want to be in pain. I'm glad I can monetize it, but I think I might just want to not be in pain at all. I might just want to be happy, and I'm starting to feel like I'm fated to have everything but that. Okay, so next we have the first of 3 titles that are just that are just names. Cassandra, Peter, and Robin. Cassandra is the first one. She is explicit, and she is 4 minutes exactly. I have no idea what any of these can be about whatsoever.
I was in my new house placing daydreams, patching up the crack along the wall.
I the sound of this.
I pass it and lose track of what I'm saying.
I like these notes.
'Cause that's where I was when I got the call. When the first stone's thrown, they're screaming. In the streets, there's a raging riot.
When it's burn the bitch, they're shrieking. When the truth comes out, it's quiet. I feel like we were shrieking when she was out and about with Maddie and saying, I love you on stage. And now it's real quiet because we didn't even know, not even the half of it, like the third of it.
I was in my tower weaving nightmares, twisting all my spirals into snarls.
This is mysterious.
They say what doesn't kill you makes you aware. What happens if it becomes who you are?
What doesn't kill you becomes who you are.
Cassandra first, 'cause she feared the worst and tried to tell the tale.
That whole blood's thick, but nothing like a payroll. That's like she noticed what was happening, but like they didn't want that. And so they killed her first. What is this about? I don't know. At first I was getting like the fandom, like social media, but now I'm getting maybe the Stolen Masters. I don't know. It's dark and like mysterious and minor, and I like it. They're cracking the wall because she lost it all. Did she crack the wall? Filled my cell with snakes. This is about Snakegate. Do you believe me now? Do you believe that I'm not a snake, that I wasn't a liar, that they doctored this whole thing? Now? Do you believe me now? This is about Snakegate, I think. I could be very, very wrong. And that could be a very shallow, incorrect interpretation. That's just my first thought. I love Blood's Thick, but nothing like a payroll. They all said nothing. Money is literally the thing that will keep people saying nothing to anything. And it's essentially what's happening right now in a million corners. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Taylor Swift. Another name, Peter. Oh God, this sounds really fucking sad. I can't cry right now.
I thought it was just goodbye for now. You said you were gonna grow up. We said it was just goodbye for now. You said you were gonna grow up, then you were gonna come find me. Said you were gonna grow up, then you were gonna come find me. Said you were gonna grow up, then you were gonna come find me. Words from the mouths of babes, promises, oceans deep, but never to keep.
I feel like this is about something that it's like life separated the two of them. And like looking back and like hoping that person's doing well and being sad that like the universe pushed you in two different directions and there was nothing you could do. You were just doing the best that you had under the same moon, but in two different galaxies. Like you were under the same moon, but you were worlds apart in the universes that you were living in. And so you never actually found each other once you grew up. Oh God, she's so good. And they built this whole world in their heads as kids. And they never followed through on any of it. Oh no! Oh.
Love's never lost when perspective is earned, and the shelf life of those fantasies is expired. Lost to the Lost Boys chapter of your life. Forgive me, Peter. Please know that I tried to hold on to the days when you were mine. But the woman who sits by the window has turned out the light. You said you were gonna grow up, then you were gonna come find me. Said you were gonna grow up. You said you were gonna grow up, then you were gonna come find me. Said you were gonna grow up.
Taylor would... Listen, Peter Pan can make me cry. That's very much something that is like not outside of the realm of possibility. Taylor would be the same. Taylor would write a song that would make me cry about fucking Peter Pan. That checks out. Oh God, it makes me like she was waiting for him, but then once he grew up, she saw that he had completely grown out of all of that they had, and she waited and waited, but she eventually had to turn off the light and go upstairs. Words from the mouths of babes. Like, so that means like something said by someone who has little to no idea what they're talking about, and they might mean it, but it's nonsense because they just have no concept of what they're saying. And promises, oceans deep, just all of these plans, just so much, an entire world. And then, God, you grow up and you keep that in your head and you tell yourself over and over. And I love how she repeats that over and over. Said you were going to grow up, then you were going to come find me. Said you were going to grow up, then you were going to come find me. Said you were going to grow up, then you were going to come find me. Said you were going to grow up, then you were going to come find me. That's what was going to happen. Over and over, you refer back to that, you hold on to that, you keep that, and then slowly it dies, but you held on to it, but you can't find that person that said they were going to grow up and come find you, and they have grown up, but you found them and they haven't come find you. And how much does that fucking hurt? We only have 3 more. I want to know who the bolter is, if it's her or if it is her partner, because it seems like these last 2 relationships were ended by not her, but before that, she was the bolter.
By all accounts,
Live
she
instruments again.
almost drowned when she was 6 in frigid water.
Ooh.
And I can confirm she made a curious child, ever reviled by everyone except her own father. With a quite bewitching face, splendidly selfish, charmingly helpless, excellent fun till you get to know her. Then she runs like it's a race, beating like this, but it always ends up with a town car speeding. At the drive one evening, and then with the slam of a door, then he'll call her a whore. Wish she wouldn't be sore, but if she was leaving, it felt like breathing.
She was leaving, it felt like breathing. Okay, we're coming out alive. You know, it's interesting. It starts like depressing, but it kind of ends with hope. Started with a kiss, we must stop leaving like this. Always ends with the town car speeding. He's gonna talk shit about her, call her a whore. But then it ended with the slam of a door, but she's got the best stories, you can be sure, as she was leaving. And all the other verses, it says it felt like breathing, which is like this weird, like, it kind of feels like good and like a relief to bolt. And it feels safe to not have something to lose. And it feels safe to leave before you get left, which is another Taylor Swift lyric. But towards the end, she says it felt like freedom. All her fucking lives, all the different relationships, all her different eras flashed before her eyes, and she realized it feels like the time she fell through the ice and then came out alive, that she was shocked and fell into something dangerous and like system alighting, and then it almost ended her, but she came out alive and freezing cold, but awake and alert and alive. I like that one. We're gonna have to come back to it. Only 2 more. One of them is another name, Robin. This one does not have a discernible gender like the other 2. It could also be a bird. I kind of don't want it to be a bird. Is that bad? That sounds a little boring. But I feel like this side of the album, it would be a bird. I'm predicting another slow folkmore vibe. Oh, very slow. We're feeling things with the Robin. I'm so seems like she's talking to like a child. I don't know. It almost reminds me of like Ronan. Like she's singing about like a little kid, like someone else, like another person. Like no thoughts had empty. Way to go, Tiger, for you. I don't know. We're gonna listen to the last one though, because it is manuscript and it's the last one. And it's giving me Dear Reader vibes. I feel like it's important. And I have high hopes. Very high hopes. What do you have to say to us, Tay? How do you want to wrap it up?
She rereads the manuscript of the entire torrid affair. They compared their licenses. He said, I'm not a donor, but I'd give you my heart if you needed it. In the age of him, she wished she was 30.
Ooh.
And made coffee every morning in a French press.
Like when you were 19?
Afterwards, she only ate kids' cereal and couldn't sleep unless it was in her mother's bed.
John and Jake.
Then she dated boys who were her own age, with dartboards on the backs of their doors. She thought about how he said, since she was so wise beyond her years, everything had been above board. She wasn't sure.
John. She wasn't sure.
And at last, she knew what the agony had been for.
I feel like this could be about looking back on all her different eras and past lives and not feeling connected to them anymore. But I also feel like it could be about exactly what it's saying and not exactly a metaphor, but really truly looking back on relationships. I could also see, she said, I don't remember if it was on the Today Show or what, but about how like she writes songs about what she's going through, and then once she records them and releases them out into the world, they're not hers anymore. They're for everyone. They're about whatever it is you want them to be about. They're not about her anymore. And I could see The Story Isn't Mine Anymore being about that. I like that one. It is very Dear Reader, and I appreciate that, and I am intrigued, and I will return to her as well. Well, that was different. That was different than the first half, and like kind of in all different areas. This is such an interesting album. I feel like this makes total sense following Folklore and Evermore, but like not following Midnights. I feel like Midnights was like her pop girly moment that she like really wanted to like break out and do. And she was like begging to do because she had been in all of these forests in her head for so long. So let me know what you guys thought of the second half of the album. I'm going to have to filter these songs into my whole album ranking, and that's just going to be a beast. So be on the lookout for that. Let me know what you guys thought of these songs, what your favorites were, what your least favorite were, what your thoughts were. Please feel free to let me know what your thoughts are, whether they were the same as mine or different, because again, this is just like my first impression. These were just like my first thoughts. There's so much that I've like realized now about like the first half from just like when I recorded that, and that was yesterday, and I can't imagine like how these songs are going to age like wine, and like how we're going to sit with them and like set in, and like what's going to click and come into focus, and like what I'm going to grow close to and love, and what like we as Swifties are going to like get attached to. I can't wait. And that's not even to mention the tour. Oh, you guys, I die. Okay. Thank you so freaking much for being here. I know this video is super long, just like the last one, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for being here. I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. I will see you very soon for that one. Mwah.
So I'm walking my dog right now, and I'm listening to Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, and the background, the piano. It's the end of Champagne Problems that I like so much that she doesn't play on stage at the Eras Tour. Holy shit, it's the thing. It's the little drum, 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 little piano thing. It's in the back of it. Go listen to it. The lore is quaking.